Hey everybody, what's up? What's crack-a-lacking? Good to see everybody. Hey miss, what's up? How you doing? See here think? Instituto Permaflorasto. Christina, what's up? See here think, Daniel. Yeah. Okay guys, so we're probably just gonna go ahead and start. Hey Renee, good to see everybody. Hope everybody's got some, well thank you miss, appreciate you. Guys, if you haven't been over to check out her channel, you need to get over there. Miss, at any time that you want, my mods are, not only are they allowed, but they're expected to drop their channel links. So yeah, hey Mark, what's up? Are you not feeling good, bud? Is that what that's one of our special emojis the members get to use. Hey Trish, good to see you. Hopefully you're not hurting there, bud. Appreciate you being here. Anyway, so let's talk about some space weather and, well, space in general. Hey Butterfly, good to see everybody. Okay, so I honestly, guys, I know I say this a lot, but I really don't look for this one to last very long. I'm just going to get to the information tonight. I got some stuff going on this weekend and, you know, that kind of thing. So, but, anyway, so let's just jump into it. Guys, we haven't had too much space weather. There's really not been a whole lot going on. But I do want to draw your attention to this. This is NOAA's forecasting right here. When they're saying R1, R2, R3, or greater, they're talking about flares. Well, really, they're talking about radio blackout storms. That's what the R1, R2 stands for there. R3 or greater means R3 is the threshold we have for X-class flares right here. We measure the flares with X-ray, so that's why. That's why that's like that. So anyway, you can definitely see here, guys, that our flare action has been little to none. And usually when that's happening, that means our CME action is not really doing a whole lot either. We've had some blast off the backside. I'm not really going to go too much into those. I actually talked about that in my last live stream. But yeah, so there really hasn't been a whole lot of Earth-directed stuff. But with that being said, that stuff can change on a dime. I think anybody that's been here for a minute probably already knows this. But yeah. So, and I know this is kind of an odd time to be going live too, guys. So please share this one out. I usually don't go live like right at this particular moment in time. 7:25 on a Friday night isn't really the best for live streaming numbers, I guess, if you want to go by the numbers. Hey Mary, good to see you. Gunslinger's in the house. King Tuuki, what's up? Pasta Maquati. Okay, now let's go over here, and I guess where do I want to start, guys? Okay, I tell you what. We'll start with the asteroids. Okay, this has been a big subject in our community. This asteroid is not going to hit us. Okay, and I'm bringing you guys over here to spaceweather.com because Dr. Tony Phillips, they log and chart these near-Earth objects. Okay. And those can be asteroids. Most of the time, that's what they are. Meteorites. Hey, Ripper, good to see you, bud. That's what we're talking about here. Okay, that's what they're logging here. Now, this is a fairly new thing. Okay, and how they do this, when they see one, they name it number one. Typically, it's going to get a number, but the first thing that they do is they put the year that it was discovered. So it says 2024. Right? Most of these are going to say 2024 because these are new discoveries. Now, some of these we'll never see again. Some of them actually will orbit the sun, almost like a comet. And some of them will just keep going out into space. Some of them will get ate up. The ones that you're going to see on this list, because it's near Earth objects, yeah, the ones that get ate up by Jupiter, you're not going to see those on this list. At least I wouldn't think you would. But Jupiter, Saturn, all the gas giants, they actually protect us a lot from incoming rocks. Okay? I'll just say it that way. But, guys, they measure this by lunar distance. Okay? So I want to make that first, like, just right out there. Now, what's lunar distance? Well, it's the distance from us to the moon. So when you see this say 1, like right here, that particular object, once again discovered in 2024 sometime, is expected to be at its closest approach to Earth on June 17th, and it's supposed to be roughly about the same distance away from us to the moon. That's what that means. Okay? So when you start scrolling down through here and you start looking at these, that puts that in a little bit different of a perspective for people. Okay? Because it's a long way to the moon. Was it 238,000 miles roughly, or is it 268? I can't really remember the exact number, but it's one of those. It's roughly, we'll just say 250 just for this conversation. I could Google it real quick. Let's just do that real quick. I don't want to, like, give some wrong information here. And we're kind of splitting hairs here anyway, because it's 238.9 100,000 miles to the moon. Basically 240,000 miles to the moon. Okay? Now you can do your little calculations to figure out kilometers and all that. But for this purpose, it's about, we're just going to call it 239,000 miles. I guess we could just say 240, but that is what it is. But anyway, guys, doesn't that put it in a little bit different perspective for you now? Because think about that. Think about how far that is. Now, they're considering that near Earth. And I get this question a lot. Well, then why are they considering it near Earth if it isn't that far away? If it's further away than what we kind of feel like it is? Because they're taking in consideration space in general. In general, that distance, 239,000 miles, in the vastness of space, is not that much. Okay? So we have to keep that in mind. So if we come down through here and with that, given that perspective now, and we look at we look at the numbers of how far they're away, look at that. You would have to go to the moon almost 20 times to get to that asteroid. And that's at its closest approach. But I will say, we do get some that are close, and we definitely do see some. But I will also put a little caveat there that the majority of the time, when we see ones get like really, really close, they're extremely small. Back at you, Anna. Thank you for that. Vicky, are you expecting somebody? I'm sorry. Okay, I need to not look at the chat so much. Okay, so anyway, let me just do this. Again, 240,000 miles. And I guess for what we're talking about, just in a general thing, we'll just say 250. It makes it easier to calculate. So for every 4 LD, you're looking at 1,000,000 miles. So so for every 4, you're looking at 1,000,000 miles. So these roughly are about 5 million miles away from Earth. Okay, that's a good distance, guys. Just saying. When we're talking about all that. Yeah, there you go. There you go, Rip. Good analogy. I think I can parallel park in that gap. Yep, I bet we can. Oh, Genius Bobber, thank you so much for the gift of memberships. Good to see you. Guys, she supports this whole community. It's crazy how much she supports us. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And I know the Marthia does too, and everybody else at any other channels that she's on. I mean, I see her in chats all over the place. She's just a great person, great support for the community. So thank you for that, Genius. I really do appreciate it. Guys, tell her thanks for those gifted memberships. We will be doing a members only stream this weekend. So anybody that got memberships, please turn your notifications on. That way you'll know when I go live with the members only. Because I try to check in with you guys about once a week over there on the members only. Sometimes more. We have fun. We kind of just get in there, have fun. We make emojis, new emojis you guys get to use, that kind of thing. Okay. So thank you, Genius. I really appreciate it. But I also want to talk about, so that asteroid, guys, is not going to hit us, okay? The big one that they've been talking about, that thing is like, it is a very good distance away from us. And the reason why that it kind of seemed like we might have been in trouble is because they used that word. What word did they use? So I don't get this vocabulary wrong. Well, they were basically saying there was a margin of error there that they couldn't really compensate for or calculate and make it make sense or whatever. There was some uncertainty to their forecasting. That doesn't mean that the uncertainty is going to draw it to Earth, number one. Okay? Number two, the uncertainty that they're talking about is not that much of an uncertainty. You got to understand that when we're talking about the scientific community, they're pretty, they want to know like down to the whatever, right? So keep that in mind when they're saying stuff like that. So I guess you can kind of look at it like this. When you're looking at an asteroid that's way out there or even getting close, we're talking about a difference of 25,000 miles. That's the uncertainty that they're talking about. I just explained to you guys that lunar distance is 239,000 miles to the moon. That's how they measure these things. So that's the uncertainty that they're talking about. Now, if it does get drawn in, the further that it is out, if their calculations are off, they'll keep recalculating, number one. Number two, any movement that far out is going to change its trajectory in a pretty big way from our perspective. So yes, a small amount of movement far out like that can definitely bring it closer to us, but the opposite is also true. They could take it further away. So we have to keep that in mind. What I'm trying to say, guys, we have to keep our head right here and not go way over here yet. Because I think the confusion comes in right here with the lunar distance. That's not a common thing that a lot of people hear in terms of measurement, the distance between us and the moon. Now, also just kind of a little side note here, an astronomical unit, you guys will hear that a lot also when you get into this community. That's the distance between us and the sun. That's how they measure stuff, and they use that a lot when we're talking about space. Then you got light years and all that kind of thing, right? But things that are closer, they have to have a smaller form of measuring it, and that's why they start doing stuff like this, because people can relate to how far we are to the moon and how far we are to the sun. Now, I know, okay, and I'm not trying to argue with people. I never do, because I won't. Some people think that the moon is like right there and the sun. So obviously that's not what I think is going on. So, but you're welcome to have that view. I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm not calling people names because I don't think that that's cool at all. But I do think that we got a pretty good idea how far these objects are. At least the bigger ones, the sun and the moon, that kind of thing. But that's what I believe. So, this actually right here, guys, this is spaceweather.com, and I'm not going to read the article. Please go over here and give Dr. Tony Phillips some love. Love the emojis there, butterfly. Thank you for that. That's awesome. But what we're talking about here is he's showing you how it changed the view of the sunrise. Okay, they're so big it changed quite it changed the way we were looking at these things. They were easy to see. Obviously, they're big. Okay, so if I click on this, you'll see this right here. We're talking about these two sunspots right here. Now, I've already talked about these, but I think we need to add this third one in there too. Look at this. I mean, now, the good thing about these, they are rotating away. But the bad thing about these, they are in that danger zone, right? We're connected to the sun over here on this side. So anything that blows off this direction has a chance of crossing our magnetic field line, and it can draw the protons from those blasts backwards at an angle back to us, or even just straight back to us. It's all magnetic, okay? So the opposite polarity will grab it and pull it our way. So if that happens, we get radiation storms. So that's why they call that the danger zone. But it's not, yeah. So we're not talking like geo effective in a way of like CME stuff. We're talking about radiation storms, which we don't even know are going on 99% of the time. They happen more than what you think, and they happen less than what some people think. So, yeah. And they will affect us, but they got to get higher up in that level. Now, to affect biological things, which includes trees, bugs, animals, us. So, S1, well, I guess we'll just zoom in right here. So these are the two sunspots. Now, I put in the thing, are they as big as Carrington? We've been talking about the Carrington event, right? Since we've had that big G5 storm. And I already showed you guys the other, well, you know what? I think he even did but I'm not going to do that here. Okay, so what we'll do, let me do this. I know what I can do. Well, he actually did a story on this, and I don't know what day he did it on. Gosh dang it. Let's try, I don't know. May 11th. That was after the G5 storm there. Thank you, Big Daddy. Appreciate that. Big Daddy Evil says, we love you, brother. Appreciate what you do. Well, thank you for that. So, let me see if I can't find the right day here, guys, because I do want to show it to you. He did do a very good article, and I want you guys to go over there and check it out. He was showing you the difference in size from the sunspots that were causing the G5 storm. Here it is. Awesome. That didn't take very long. Okay, so here's the Carrington sunspot. Here's the G5 storm sunspot. Right? Now, what we've got going on right now, oops. These are probably about 1/2 to maybe 3/4 the size of these. Okay? Now, so we got two of them, and they're basically kind of spaced out like that. Now, I do find it interesting the shape that they take. Okay? You notice how they kind of got this little curve, like upside down, like a frown? So, let's go here, and you can see that the new ones here are doing the same thing. So, that interests me, because I find it intriguing, I guess, that we're still, we see those kinds of patterns. You wouldn't think that the sunspots would take that same arcing look here. What is today, guys? The 20th? I think it is. Nope. Today, 21st. Probably today, the first day of summer. Or yesterday was the first day of summer. 20th was. I knew that, but so anyway, guys, this is what we got. Here's those sunspots. Now notice their location. You see this? Why are they there and not down here? Anybody know? Okay. This is what we're talking about when we talk about field rotation. He is not using an equatorial mount to get this picture. What that means is he's not, the telescope or the camera or whatever he's using here is not rotating per his latitude where he's at on this planet to compensate for the apparent roll of what we see. We see it with every object in the sky. And they rotate the same degrees. Okay? All of them. So, not necessarily the same distance, but the same degree of movement from our perspective. That's why. So why aren't they showing it on this model? Because they would have to show for every single person, every latitude, they would have to give you an image. They're not going to do that. That's ridiculous. So that's why people ask me that, and it's a legitimate question until you hear the answer, because they would have to do that virtually for everybody, and it's just not possible. So what they do is they use equatorial mounts, and it keeps everything straight. It's better for long exposure photography. That's why. If you do not use that, you get the big circle star trails. You get all kinds of blur. Okay, that's why. So I wanted to point that out because it's important to understand, because I know somebody's going to say, well, why were they up here? Guys, these sunspots are not morphing on the sun. They're not moving on the sun like that. If I was to superimpose this particular photograph with this image here and overlay it, it would match perfect. Okay? They're not moving. The sunspots are, they do move, but they don't move like that. They grow and they get bigger and they kind of, we've all seen them move like that, right? Well, you can run here, let me just do this. This is SDO, and I'm not going to go into any kind of big explanation of where that's at tonight. We can look at the... All right, let's just look at the gray version, because I do think it gives us kind of a better outline of where the sunspot itself is. We're going to let this load, and as it does, I'm going to take you guys back over here. Guys, this coronal hole, I think we did connect to it. If we get anything from it, I'm not sure yet, but we could. We could see an uptick in solar wind and all that. If that happens, we could get a geomagnetic storm. They're not forecasting any geomagnetic storming right now, though. Okay? You can see up here, the closest we're getting is basically here in just a few hours. Okay? Well, what time is it? Yeah, basically like right now. That is saying 4. Because this is UTC time. So, a 4 on the KP, that's as close as we're getting to geomagnetic storming per their forecasting. Can they be wrong? Yes, they can be wrong. But so let's take this and we'll look at this, and you can see how they move. Okay, see how they're growing and kind of shrinking and all that kind of stuff? They are not moving around and going here, going there, and everywhere. That's not how this works. Okay? Doesn't work like that at all. And, if you have that viewpoint, okay. But show me something and give me some scientific something that I can look at and see if I agree with you or not. Don't just say, hey, look at them, they're moving. Well, yeah, I can point to my brother down the street and tell him to move and don't turn, and he's going to look different than what somebody else is seeing it. That, hey, look at this, doesn't work. Okay, that's kind of what I'm saying, and we get that a lot. So hopefully, you're not doing that, because it's not a good thing to do. It's not good for your credibility at all. Somebody tell me to go outside and look up. Okay, what am I looking at? Okay, you're saying it's different. Well, how's it different? Number one. Number two, give me your evidence. Show me your observation. That's what they won't do. Just simple stuff like that. It's crazy to me. People will say, hey, this is over here and this is over there. And they'll say, well, from the big rock out on Prairie Road by the rock wall, by the big oak tree that fell back in 1927, if you look directly to the south, east, west, north at 2.6 degrees, you'll see what I'm talking about. That's the kind of crap we get. And it's ridiculous. It really is. It's so ridiculous to hear that kind of stuff. But, observations are awesome. That's really what hammers it in, right? Hey, we see this. It causes us to question. We go look, right? But when you go look, please keep that mind, right? Go find out why it's looking like that. And it could be something that's just not all that big of a deal, or it could be something that, yeah, we need to look, Exactly. See here, think X marks the spot, baby. So anyway, yeah. So I don't think any of that stuff is, this sunspot is not going to give us any issues. I don't think it could. These two over here, they could blow. All right. They really could. I'm not saying that they're not going to. They have enough energy, but they're very stable. So, but they are harboring enough energy that they could actually bust off some pretty big X-class flares. They're about half the size each of the Carrington sunspot, which doesn't really speak to its power. It's just speaking to how actual physically big they are. Now, it does kind of relate typically from a bigger sunspot. You got more energy hanging around, so it does typically relate to an uptick in the power of a hit. But what I will say is it's not a guarantee. Okay, so we'll leave that at that. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you guys. We did have a flare on these incoming sunspots, and I want to show it to you because these are the ones we're going to have to watch because they're rotating in, and we got to make sure that we're paying attention to it in case it goes ahead and flares when it gets out in front of us. We already got a radio blackout from it. I can show that to you right here. Okay, see how impulsive that was, though? I talk about impulsive and long duration. Impulsive means it just flashed, basically, like a camera flash, right? Long duration would be more like somebody turning a light on and then slowly covering it with a towel to put it out, right? So that's the difference there. But it did get into R2 radio blackout level. That was like an M5.6, I believe, flare. With that being said, it did get close to X-class flare range. But that's just the flare part of it. It is not CME action. It did not produce any kind of CME. But it did. Yeah, it did happen. So here's the 131, and it happened over here. So there it went. I'm going to pause it, and it's from this sunspot grouping here, and we'll do it like this. Now, I want to point something else out too. You see how active that actually is? This one here seems to be fairly active, and that could mean that we're going to get more action out of this thing as it rotates in towards Earth. Okay, so right, did I miss it? Yep. Okay, that's it right there. Let me show you. Right there. Okay? That's the 5.6 flare. Now, when you see those kinds of things, most people just keep their eye on that one, right? Me, I don't know why, but I go to the one right behind it. And the reason why is because typically we're going to see anything big that happens. So I'm looking for the little stuff behind it to see what's coming. And if you look back here, all these are flaring. You're seeing plasma release off. So it's actually, there's some CME action going on back there. It might not be massive, but as these sunspots rotate in, we're going to have to pay close attention to them. That's what I'm saying here. So what we'll do here, we did have a CME the other day. I'm not going to waste too much time on showing you any of that. It looked like it could have some Earth-directed component to it. But as of so far right now, they're not forecasting a geomagnetic storm. That could be why they're saying a 4 right here, because the time frame would match up. So maybe that's why. They just don't think it's going to be all that powerful. But yeah, so anyway, as that's blowing right there, boom, 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 there we go. Let me, I'll tell you what, let me take it back a day. This is the 18th right here, guys. I'm pretty sure this is where that one happened. Because I did see a faint halo from that one eruption, but it was moving so slow and it didn't look very powerful at all. So I didn't really, but I'm not concerned about it is what I'm trying to say. But you can still see the sun is staying very active. Okay. A lot of this stuff is going off the backside. So here in the next week or so, that's what we're going to have to look at. Oh, hey, Stephen A. Love the eggplant. Love it. Butterfly, hey, Ricky. Good to see you. Hey, Deb. Hey, Daniel. Okay, so, guys, let me do this real quick. Again, don't worry. The sunspots, we're going to have to keep an eye on them. But, guys, please remember when we're talking about asteroids hitting, we're talking about lunar distances, okay? So, in terms of how we look, you know, like, hey, if I want to drive across town, that's what? At max, 10 miles? How long does it take me to do that? About 15 minutes, right? So that's how our brains work down here. We have to keep in mind that when we're talking about stuff in space, they're going to say it's near Earth when it's really not all that near in our minds, okay? That's just how it works. Space is a big place. Just ask Billy Bob Thornton when he made that comment in the movie Asteroid or Armageddon. Begging your pardon, Mr. President, it's a big-ass sky. Ain't that what he said? I think that's one of the best lines I've heard in a long time. Or the Coyote Roadrunner thrust maneuver when they go around the moon. That was funny, too. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, poor Bruce Willis, man. I seen some TikTok videos that were sent to me. That man, he's not doing good. It's sad to see somebody that was like that, and now he's got really, really bad stuff going on. It's sad. He ain't the only one either. There was somebody else out there, I can't remember who has the same thing going on. Just they're losing this dementia, and it's just really bad stuff. But anyway, so prayers for even those people, guys. You know, it's not up to us to decide who we send good thoughts and prayers to. We should be sending it to everybody, whether we think they're good people or not. That's just how I look at things. But that's just me. Now, okay, guys. So anyway, yeah. So the lunar distance here. That's what let's keep that in mind, right? When we're talking about this stuff. Also, these are the fireball reports. There were only 2 of them. Now, there's sometimes like when we're going through meteor showers, you'll come over here and this thing will say like 300, 400 fireballs. All that means is we're going through most of the time, it means we're going through a meteor shower and people are seeing these meteorites burn up. Okay? That's what's happening. Adam and Dex did show an interesting video the other day. over on Marfugal. So please go check them out, guys. They'll be going live tonight, I'm sure. But they showed one of the launches, SpaceX, and somebody, I can't remember, I think it was, can't remember the account's name, but he's there all the time over there in the chat. But he sent them a video of that launch, and that as it was going up, how it has different stages and stuff. And it caught some really cool features that people are diving into and looking at. I have no idea what it is, so I'm not even going to attempt to try to even look at that. But it's interesting, guys. Go check that out, because it didn't look like the normal thing that was happening. And it could be just simply his perspective, or it could be something different what was going on. So I don't know. But it was very, very interesting. It drew me in 100%. But like I said, guys, please get over and check out Marfugal. Marfugal News, Marfugal TV. Genius, if you're still here, thank you for the gifted memberships. Guys, this coming week, I'm thinking about trying something different. Okay, I'm going to talk to the members, and I'm going to ask you guys too. Hey, Seventh, good to see you, bud. Yeah. Lost my train of thought there. Okay, yeah, okay. Here, I'm back. I'm thinking about doing a morning update video. Not a live stream. It could be a live stream, but if I live stream it, I'm going to limit it to 15 minutes and straight to the point. I might just say hi to the chat once and get out. Okay? I think I might try doing that this coming week to see how it works. And then I'll do my live streaming normal at night. Okay? And the reason I want to do that is that's how my channel was built, with those 15-minute videos. That's what I always did. I never live streamed until a few years back. It is easier to live stream. Okay? And the reason why, there is no editing. But guys, do me a favor. I think I'm going to start trying that on Monday. Please come watch. The success of that's going to greatly depend on whether people come watch. If you could come watch, and then, leave me a comment. Let's just get that stuff out. And then at night, this is what we're going to do this the same. Okay? At night. Like I've always, nothing's going to change. But yeah, so I want to try that and see if that works. I don't want to do it more than twice a day. And the reason why is notifications don't get sent out after that. If you live stream too close together, sometimes they won't go out at all. So I just want to point that out. But please click that bell. Share this out, guys. That's the best thing you can do to help the channel and help me and everybody else. When you go to anybody else's channel, please, I know it doesn't seem like it's a whole lot, but click the like button. Come back and leave me a comment. I'm trying to get back to at least putting a heart and a thumbs up in the comment section. Okay? Anybody that leaves me a comment, that's my way of telling you that I read it. Okay? I won't respond to all of them because it's simply just not possible. Hey, Anik, good to see you, Alexander. Good to see you, bud. So that's how I do it. So if you see a heart and a thumbs up on any comment that is underneath my videos, that simply just means I'm acknowledging that I read it. Okay? And that I took the time to read it. Because I think it's important to read those things. I do read them, most of them, but I haven't been able to take the time to click and all that kind of stuff on every single one of them. Because it does get kind of a lot to do when you're trying to do everything else. But I want to make sure I keep doing that. So please come back, leave me a comment. And again, guys, I will 100% be doing the live streams the same at night, as always. Anytime something big is going on, everything I just said goes out the window. Okay? If we're having a big event, none of that stuff is happening. I'm going to be here a lot. Okay? And that's how that works. That's why I now cast and that kind of thing. But I do want to give people an opportunity to come in the mornings and see stuff, because I do think I missed some people. So I want to do that and see what we got going on with that. But I guess, Adam and Dex kind of something similar, but they do a live stream, a shorter one on their one channel, then they go over to Marfugal TV right after and do the full live stream. So they're kind of doing something similar, just the time frame's different. But anyway, guys, Genius, thank you again for the gift of memberships. Ricky, everybody else, anybody else that I missed here, thank you guys for being here. Aloha off the hook, Cindy Who, Butterflies in the house. Glad to see you here live, girl. Pam B, what's up? What's up? Hold on a minute. I got a remedy to that. I thought you had a wrench, Pam. You do now. Anyway, so yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and pop off. I will be back probably tomorrow. Again, guys, the past few days there hasn't been a whole lot going on, and I had a lot of stuff going on. It's summertime. My daughter's in color guard, basically band and dance and all that together. State fair's coming up. That's their big event that they have. And we've just been really, really busy. So, just saying. Yeah, hotness. It's hot. 100%. Oh, before everybody leaves, listen. Guys, listen to me when I say this. You're welcome. You deserve it. Anyway, tell Pam B, welcome to the Mod Squad. Anyway. Listen, we're going to see power outages when it gets hot. Just saying. Now, with that being said, are there other things causing these power outages that we're seeing everywhere? Yes. There was a massive, one of the most visual, breathtaking things I've seen on a satellite in a very, hey, right back at you, Big Chase, in a very long time, was that dust storm that came from the tropical system hitting Mexico right now. And it started that outflow going from east to west across New Mexico into Arizona. The dust and sand from that was there the next day. I think Mr. MVB3 actually was picking it up with his readings because he's around Phoenix area. But that was one of the most visually stunning satellite images I've seen in a long time. So if you haven't seen that, please go check it out. Maybe I'll show it to you guys in my next live stream. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to check in with you guys and let you guys know, hey, and on days that we have really slow stuff, hey, Jeremy, on days that we have really slow stuff, I think that the update videos at the beginning of the day are going to be very, very beneficial to everybody, including the channel, because it allows people to just pop in for 10 or 15 minutes. I would like to get it down to 10 minutes or less, because I think most people can click that on and keep doing their morning routine and just kind of listen, right? So, yeah. Yeah, I agree. Regurgitating 9 o'clock news, 100%. Interesting name, by the way. I do think that our weather is changing, guys. I don't think there's any question. There's one thing that people don't talk about too often that I think anybody that doesn't live near it probably wouldn't really talk about it, is the fact that the Tornado Alley has shifted to the east and to the south a little bit. Do you guys know that? Where we expect the most amount of tornadoes in the world, by the way, is in the United States Tornado Alley. It has shifted to the east and to the south a little bit. Why does it do that? Well, the climate's different, guys. That's why. The weather patterns are different. Things are changing. And just because they're changing doesn't mean it's bad, good, or indifferent. It simply just means that they're changing. Okay? Now, when they do change, we got to look. Okay? So I'll just say that. Oh, did they close Yellowstone? Yeah. Guys, that is the super volcano. And, there's a lot of discussion around that, whether it's awake or whether it's not. I don't know. I don't even know where I stand on that, so I'm not even going to comment. I don't know enough about it when we talk about earthquakes and stuff. And by the way, get over to Ron, Emergency Management Associates. Get over there and check out his channel. Guys, he's awesome. Very, very good dude. So Ricky's over there a lot, and IG is over there. Isaiah's granny, and there's a lot of people. And everybody else, guys. Lifeboat. Mark Pyers, Rip, Ilea. Well, she's not really doing videos right now. Trinity. Guys, get over and check out Trinity. Red pill, blue pill, hi ho, Kermit the Frog here. We got to support, right? And she needs some support right now over there. So let's get over and check out her channel, guys, okay? And prayers for everybody. Good thoughts, whatever you do, I'll take them all. Miss Dragon, if you're still here, get over and check out her channel too. I wish I could shout out every channel, guys, but check out my awesome channel list. And I'll be back with you guys if something big happens. If not, I will see you tomorrow. And guess what, guys? Hey, Renee, good to see you. No, I'm getting ready to leave. Right, we're shutting her down now anyway, Renee. But yes, please hit the like button. Share it out. It doesn't take but 2 seconds. It really does help the channel. But tomorrow, my nephew may be here with me. He's a cool dude. He's 10 years old. I love him to death. I may have him on here live with me. I might bring him. I might just do my members only live stream with him with me. That'd be kind of cool. He'll think it's awesome. So, anyway, guys, God bless, and give Pam B the old thank you. Let's get some twos in the chat for Pam B. We're getting that blue wrench today. How about that? There you go. All right, guys. God bless. Yahusha saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.